Yes, guys, this is the instant reaction as Newcastle beat Nottingham Forest 3-2. That's right. Chris Wood, he was nowhere to be seen today, thankfully, after Newcastle lost against Nottingham Forest not that long ago. I think a lot of Newcastle fans were apprehensive about this one. No one quite knew what would happen, and I tell you what, there was plenty of goals, but thankfully we were the ones who put that extra ball in the back of the net. BRUNO, take a bow, my friend. That winning goal was something to be remembered. Cracking effort. We go to the game, everyone's talking about lineups. Wilson played, Wilson started. I'm not sure Wilson touched the ball, actually. I don't think Wilson had the greatest of games, but didn't matter in the end. He chased, he ran at the front. A lot of the conversation was about Dan Burn. In fairness, even from Eddie Howe's press conference before the game, there was a lot of question marks on Eddie Howe. What are you going to do? Dan Burn this, Dan Burn that. And you know what, Dan Burn, yeah, we'll come on to it in a minute as we go through the goals. But we won. Big sigh of relief. I'm down here, but at the social club. It was my dad's birthday yesterday, so big up my dad. Happy birthday to him. We've come down, we've had a few beers with the boys, and we've won. And we will go out and we can celebrate tonight. And that was what it is, because we've looked at these patches of fixtures, and everyone's looked at Luton at home, Nottingham Forest away, Bournemouth on Saturday, and after beating Fulham and Aston Villa, everyone's gone, well, we'll go and win them all. And then we had the Luton game where, to be honest, 8 goals in the game. I'm not sure how. I was trying to ask the lads. I don't know. You tell me if I'm wrong. I've been a season ticket holder for 8 years. I've been to plenty of away games. Have I seen 8 goals in a game before? We were trying to count it out. I'm not sure that I have. I can't remember being so deflated after seeing 8 goals, despite being 4-2 down and coming back to 4-4. To come out of that game and feel the way I did. To go to the pub today and go, you know, 5:30 kick-off, Forest beat us up here. Can we turn this around? It's a sigh of relief. It's a relief. It's a massive 3 points. And look, I don't. We were not at our best today. And look, I think going in at 2-2, I think showed that we didn't always control the game. I think Forest knew what they were doing. We scored early. Look, we scored early. BRUNO puts the ball in the back of the net from the corner. You know, we hit short corners, don't we? The short corner comes in, 2 Trippier, back stick, BRUNO totally unmarked, back of the net. You know, there's a lot of conversation about BRUNO and selling BRUNO and what's next for BRUNO. We aren't the same side without BRUNO. Like, I was going to say we are an average team without BRUNO at times. He makes the difference so often. Totally, I'm assuming that's off the training ground, because the way BRUNO moves out to the back, the Forest players are nowhere near him. On the volley, sorry, I thought someone shot me name there. On the volley, back of the net. Big up BRUNO, 1-0, and I'm going, this is what happened to Luton. This is what happened to Luton. Longstaff scored last time and it all went wrong. And it didn't take too long for them. But we had a warning sign literally moments later. The ball comes straight through. And that's once again, passing straight through our midfield, straight through our defence. Dan Burn gets done for pace. Dubravka saves it. I'm thinking, okay, that's the warning. Don't let that happen again. What happens next? Do the exact same thing again. Ball comes through. Dan Burn's done for pace. In fairness, Dubravka, where are you? If you're a keeper, you either get it or you don't. If you either come forward and get it, or don't come out at all. Dubravka runs out into no man's land. Burn's nowhere near him, and he puts it in the back of the net. And Dan Burn we've won now, so it's all right. We don't mind anymore. But Dan Burn will get stick for that. I would say Eddie Howe, first of all, everyone's been talking about whether it should have been Livramento today, so he will take stick for that. But I will also say, no Joe Linton centre midfield. Gordon, who's covering Dan Burn here? And literally, it's nothing on Miley, because he's a young lad, it's whatever. Eddie Howe should be grabbing the left centre midfield, who was Miley for a lot of the game, and going, cover Dan Burn. Cover him. If you're going to play, like, I get that Eddie Howe wants to stick with Dan Burn. He's got an allegiance, and I think Dan Burn does bring... I'm trying to play devil's advocate almost, because I would have played Livramento, so I'm almost fighting a cause that isn't mine. But if you're gonna play him, you've got to tell people to help him. You can't just constantly leave him on his own and they scored. And I'm going, why? Thankfully for us, the ball comes over. Fabian Shaw, the Mr. Man here, we should just play up front these days. He scores more goals than the strikers are, puts the ball back there. Fantastic finish on the bounce, back of the net, 43 minutes gone. And I'm thinking, half-time, 1-2-1 up, we've done the job. No. 5-6 minutes of added time and Forest get the goal after 50 minutes right on half-time. And it's Luton all over again. It's Luton all over again. It's 2-2. We've got to go to a second half and fight for it. Thankfully, the man that I mentioned earlier, Mr. BRUNO, we actually make our first sub. For the first time in a while, a sub that isn't defensive or isn't a youngster coming on to help with pace. Well, in fairness, he actually came on and scored against Luton, didn't he? Barnes comes on, gets the kind of tackle, fumble in the box. The ball runs out to BRUNO. Is there any other man in the world that you want to be on the edge of the box with that much space? Probably not. BRUNO takes his touch, takes his time. The Forest keeper actually gets his hand to it. So, weak hands. BRUNO puts it in the back of the net and makes it 3-2. And it's not like we scored and it was plain sailing from there. Yet again, we're away from home. And you would expect the home side to react. You'd expect the home side to come out and try to continue to get the ball. And they did that. Nottingham Forest did not make that game easy for us at any point today. After we scored, they took control. And then they scored. And then we tried to take control back. And then we scored again. And then they took control. It was probably an entertaining game for the neutral. For a Newcastle fan, it was, my God, please take 3 points away from the Forest ground and run home. And we did that. Especially nearing the end. We were kind of, I think Crafty came on at the end. It was like, let's get some bodies on the pitch. Let's try and take it through to the end. And we won. Big 3 points for Newcastle at a time where, as I say, where we've kind of gone into this run after the Fulham, after the Villa, draw against Luton after having lost against them away from home. It's kind of like, where are we? I think it's a big 3 points today. Because we now take on Bournemouth at home on Saturday, and we saw what happened with Luton, so I take nothing for granted. We will have to turn up and we will have to beat them. But we take a big 3 points today, and I take it in our fight. Try and get some European football this season. Let me know your thoughts down below on the game. Let me know your thoughts on BRUNO, the man who, for me, was the main man. Let me know your thoughts on the Dan Burn. Let me know your thoughts on the Wilson, who didn't really do a lot, really. Didn't get a lot of the ball. I think Miggy had a great impact. Let me know your thoughts on all that down below. Thank you for watching. Enjoy your Saturday night. Gonna take me dad on a bar crawl now. Make sure he enjoys the big win. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you later.